Vegas to Japan, different hemisphere hotties from Greece to Thailand. Being on safari in the motherland. A rice in Indochina with a crew of Asian fans. I told you, keep the block cause the world is mine. Hit the currency exchange, it's Euro time. Monte Carlo casino, spending dime. Fast cars to Autobahn, Berlin is mine. Catch me in Paris, but not in the Hilton. 5-star hotels, 6-star pimpin'. Now I'm in Brazil and I'm bicycle dipping. South American queens, big boss living. Different places, brand new faces. Got more locations than military bases. I've been caught my dreams, so ain't no more chasing. Stamp my passport, next destination.
Here we go, we taking this city. Here we go, we taking this city. Here we go, we taking this city. The next stop, the whole wide world. Here we go, we taking this city. Here we go, we taking this city. Here we go, we taking this city. The next stop, the whole wide world.
Start this journey up in Richmond County.
I want to call this a conversation with our next president, Jade Simmons. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit I know about her, but then I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself to everybody watching. Jade Simmons, you're a pianist. Make sure I say that correctly.
You got it.
A motivational speaker, a black African queen, as you can see. And more importantly, you decided you want to run for office.
Right.
So before we dive into why you want to run for office, introduce yourself to the people that have never met you.
Yeah, I'm originally from Charleston, South Carolina. By way now of Houston, Texas.
Okay.
My husband and I, high school sweethearts. We grew up together in Charleston. We have 2 kiddos, boy and a girl.
Yeah.
We've been in Houston for over a decade now.
Oh, wow, okay.
And we're literally out in New Mexico for the first time ever to gather signatures to be on the ballot. 41 states you can already vote for me.
Okay.
But New Mexico makes it difficult. They make you gather thousands of signatures. We got about 2,500 left, and that'll get us on the ballot so that when you go into the booth, you'll see Trump,
So
Biden,
I want to make sure they
Simmons.
understand. So as of now, 48 states already got you locked in.
41.
When they vote, 41. When they
41
vote,
states.
but New Mexico being one of the ones that hasn't yet made it
Right.
official, and you need 2,500 more signatures to do that.
2,500 more signatures. Everybody's been so wonderful.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, every color, every age, because everybody's unified around one thing.
Come on now.
They don't like what they see as
Come
the
on.
options. They know this is a unique time, and we can't risk doing the same thing we've always done.
I'm glad you said that because no question. I mean, this is I've been saying it. My kind of slogan of the season, if you will, has been change must come.
Yeah.
We know the song Sam Cooke,
Yeah.
change gonna come now. No, now it's change must come.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a breath of fresh air walking through Juneteenth. You know, and enjoying just that atmosphere, seeing that melting pot. Mind you,
Yeah.
New Mexico, we only make up 13% African Americans in the United States,
Yeah.
but 3% in New Mexico.
Yeah.
75,000
On a good day.
of us. Yeah,
On a good day.
exactly. 75,000 throughout this state.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a fraction of that actually lives in Albuquerque.
That's right.
But to see how everybody was able to come together, what does that mean to you as someone that's looking to be the next president, to see so many different races coming together and showing so much love in a time where we've seen so much hate?
Yeah, this is a moment. Let me tell you, my father is a civil rights activist, Jerome Smalls. Look him up. Charleston, South Carolina is where we're from. So we're talking about a few days ago, we just had the anniversary, right, of Mother Emanuel and what happened there. My father loves to see what he's seeing because he says at the height of civil rights, when you know you're really about to bust through, is when it's not just us on the streets yelling, because whether we like it or not, progress happens when everybody else realizes this is a thing. So for him, when he sees a park like what we saw at Roosevelt the other night, he's like, okay, this is it. But my dad will say, I'm glad y'all kiddos are out there. I never left. That's what he will tell you. My dad took me to KKK rallies when I was 5 and 6 years old. I saw the white mask. He wanted me to understand that hate was a thing you weren't born with. It got taught to you. And I saw parents encouraging their kids to call me every name in the book. You don't forget something like that. So a moment like this is not just symbolism. We'll get into that. This is not a symbolic run here. This is not me, making a move. This is not a personal career move. This is a real thing, and it's possible now more than it ever was.
And I want to be very clear. You're very successful in your own right, as far as education-wise, as far as in your career. So it's not a matter of, hey, I want to get a new job. Let's try being president.
Listen, somebody accused me of making this a career move, and I said it's the exact opposite. First of all, COVID shut us down.
Come on now.
90% of my revenue is from large gatherings, thousands of people. Listen, if I just want to feel good, I'll go back to doing that. You get done after talking, playing 60 minutes, people standing ovation, telling you how great you are. They like everything you have to say. we stepped into this thing right here. I've probably been insulted, criticized, misjudged, accused of splitting the right, accused of splitting the left, wrong motives. More in the last, we started running January 1st, more in the last 2 months than my entire life on this earth.
So that brings me to this. As an African-American woman running for president, we've seen the ridicule that Obama went through. We've seen the hate, and we've seen, you know, it definitely takes somebody. You got to be real strong to decide to even take that step. Were you concerned about that, even when, as you were deciding to run and thinking about your family, like you said, your husband, were you worried about that at all?
My husband, he's taking it a little tougher than I am because, you know, he's our protector. So he's watching his queen take some stuff off some cowards on social media, off some strangers who don't know me. He knows my heart. So I went to him when we were deciding, and I said, sweetie, am I crazy? Or is this really the right move right now? Because we had thought about doing it 4 years from now. But you know how it is, you plan stuff. Big guy upstairs, I got other plans for you.
He laughed at our plans.
He laughs at it. So my husband said, Jade, he said, every time you felt like you've been led to do something and it wasn't about you and it was about other people, it's always been what we're supposed to do. He said we would be crazy to start doubting it now just because it's a hard thing and it's a wild thing. So we get confirmation every day. I'll tell you what, we knew when we decided to run, I say we because there's a team, Operation Restoration.
Takes a village.
My family, friends, when we decided to run, we had two instincts. We knew America was coming up on a dawn of reckoning. We knew there was going to be a heightened conversation around race. We knew there was going to be a moment where we couldn't turn our eyes from the disparities that have been going on forever and ever and ever. COVID-19 hit. And the things we were like so shocked by, oh my God, black people got hit worse. And we're like, wait a minute, that's nothing new. Oh my God, the economy is bad for people. That's nothing new, no matter what the president was saying. And then George Floyd, that murder happened, and let's keep it real. If we had been business as usual, moving about, going to work, taking little Timmy to soccer practice, doing all the things we do, I don't think George Floyd's death would have had the same effect because we could have kept moving.
I agree.
COVID had us shut down, white, black, Asian, Indian, Australian, European.
It made us pay attention.
We had to pay attention.
Wow, that's big. So let's one of the biggest topics right now is that for the first time, America is realizing that systematic racism. We've been hearing that so much. It does exist. It's existed for a long time. If you're voted, if you're nominated as the next president, what do you plan to do to address systematic racism?
Well, let me tell everybody right now who's looking and going, you know, she's cute and all, she can put a sentence together, but how is she qualified? We did a whole segment last night called Is She Qualified? And it's based on the who the heck is she? We get that a lot. What's she really going after? What does she know? And what's astounding, you can keep it real on your show. What's astounding is the most criticism I get.
I didn't know. From us. All day long, us.
It's from us. And I'm going to tell you, the most criticism I get from us is from women who look just like me. Now, the people who have jumped on this wagon hardcore, I mean, white people going, oh my God, we need another solution. She looks like it. I'm like, check me out first. We don't even need to know. You sound like you're saying the right thing. I've had people come on and accuse me, you can't know nothing about foreign policy. Let me spend some time talking to you about China, Russia, and Saudi Arabia. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So what we say is, don't be like the rest of America, where we just take whatever a politician says and count it as fact. We tell everybody we saw at the park, check me out.
Fact check.
Hold me accountable, and make sure the same person you see talking to you right now looks the same on CNN, looks the same on Fox. And we tell people, before you fall in love, check out that policy, because it's not going to change.
Come on now.
So if you don't want to hear me talking about systemic racism, not just in police brutality, I think the mistake we might be making right now is if we only talk about police brutality and police reform, and we don't get to systemic injustice in the education system, systemic injustice in the economy. People talk about creating a brand new Marshall Plan for Black America, we'll miss the moment. If we just let it be about getting Aunt Jemima off the shelf, we're lost.
And you know, the biggest thing, and I've said this, to me, I was telling, I spoke at a rally, and I've said at the rally, the biggest thing is, right now, everybody's paying attention to us. They're listening. We've been saying we've been hashtagging for the longest Black Lives Matter. But if we really are in a place where we're saying we believe it and we're going to stand for it, the first thing we have to do is start acting like it. And that means caring enough about each other, our brothers, our sisters, you know, and embracing each other and forgetting about the indifference. But then the other side of that, to me, is the only way we're going to be successful is we have to embrace our minorities.
Yeah.
We can't do it by ourselves. Like I said earlier, we only make up 3% out here. So it's like we need everybody. You know, in the United States, only 13%. Still not enough to do it by ourselves.
What I say is, why are we? You know, and listen, you're talking to a classically trained pianist.
I watch
my entire life, right? And so now the concerts go from Rachmaninoff to rap. Believe it or not, Google Black Beethoven and you'll see it. But this is someone who grew up on Chopin and Beethoven and African dancing and ballet lessons. I was that girl who was always the only one in the room. Now, if you're not careful, and I know people like this, you get happy about being the only one in the room. You start patting yourself on the back. What you're supposed to do is go, where's the rest of us?
Somebody else.
And you're supposed to ask the people in charge. You know, we have corporations. I'm brought in by some of the world's biggest brands. We talk about transformation, reinvention. I mean, the biggest brands out there. And they'll come in there, they'll be excited. You're our first woman speaker. You're our first Black speaker. And it's like, that's not something to celebrate. Let's help you make that not be that I'm not your last. And so people will say, well, you know, she doesn't mind doing this because she talks in a way that makes white people comfortable. No, let me tell you, I talk in a way intentionally that makes everybody uncomfortable so that we can finally do the work we have to do. And so when people say, well, who's your fan base? One lady asked me last night, in a world that's built on white supremacy, how are you going to be taken seriously by white men and women? My entire life has been in that world. And I have friends and loved ones that are dear to me in just about every ethnicity you can imagine. And that is the moment. I got my Pan-African friends who are saying, hey, it ain't the moment. This is the moment about us. But let me tell you, I believe as a child of God, I run openly as a Christian because I hate the way my faith has been hijacked by evangelicals and by Republicans. I'm just honest about it.
Talk about it.
And so I run openly on that. You're going to hear me say, I believe in the sanctity of life, but it don't stop in the womb. I want to hear about it all the way to the tomb. So if you're outraged by abortion, I need you to be outraged by people dying at the border. I need you to be outraged by George Floyd equally. Equal outrage, right? And so, you know, we're in a moment now, like you were saying, with everybody. Why waste any time taking away people from the family? Bring everybody out. You know, we were all confused in the beginning. We were saying, white silence is violence. And then they would speak and say, shut up, you know what I'm talking about. And I was like, it's hard to be white right now,
Look,
too, right?
Confusing.
You know, so I think we got to get focused in this season. I would not be doing this and wasting the people of New Mexico's time if this wasn't a reality. We've done the math. We get to choose our own electors. We participate in electoral college. We've got our 5 electors here in New Mexico, and they are every color of the rainbow, every age group, because we wanted to make a statement that this is not just a Black thing. But in this moment, unlike maybe President Obama got to do, because everybody has bought in now, I get to say I'm a president to all, but I get to be a champion for African Americans. And then I get to be a champion for Native American people, a champion for immigrants, a champion for small business owners. Anybody out there got screwed over in that stimulus package? Right? And so this is a time where a president is expected now, should be, to be a champion. And if you look at our 2 options on the ballot, we're not going to get that from the president. And I'm not convinced it's going to come from the left as well. I'm not convinced. And so my thing is, the people who come at me, other people who look like me, are saying, well, nicely they say, please don't do this, you're going to split the vote. Real talk, they say, sit your behind down, what you doing? And I say, why are you standing so hard on this side that you're not sure stands for you? So that's my big plea. Check us out at Operation Restoration, 2020.com. And before you hunker down behind a man-made party line, make sure that man is actually standing for you.
That's one of the big things. Even for me and a lot of people that I've spoken to, we're living in a time where we realize now that the Democratic or Republican that we were taught about, the one we thought we've been voting with, isn't what we thought it was. So for me, I'm definitely away. I want to step away from that.
Just be open.
Yeah, exactly. And so for me, I'm taking the time, and I want to learn the other candidates. You know, and that's why for me, even when I seen you first, I'll be honest, first one to admit it, you're Black. So that was my first guy. Okay, Black woman running for president.
Let's look at it.
But then, even more than that, as I begin to read and then even, did my research, and I'm looking, I'm saying, okay, wow, now this isn't just some woman that say, hey, I want to be president, that'd be cool. So we know what's in office now. What makes you better than the current president?
Here's the word. I'm a competitive person, so I like the word better, but I'm going to give you something better to think about. Don't ask who is better. Ask who is the best person for this moment. In this moment, the president has to be three jobs the president has. Head of state. That means she's got to be a brilliant #1 communicator, one of the most sought after public speakers in the world, by the way. Check your girl out. But you got to be a dynamic communicator. What I mean by that is not just put together words nicely. Be able to listen. Can I say that again? Listen between the lines. If we're going to deal with China effectively, we're going to have to be tough and we're going to have to be shrewd. You can't put all your cards on the table. You're going to deal with Saudi Arabia and Russia, who are now engaged in this little contest back and forth over our oil, right? We're going to have to get in there. Speaking of our oil, that's all we've been talking about. Now what's happening? Oil's not doing what it's supposed to do.
Not at all.
We didn't pay any attention to natural energy. We should have the world coming at us for that. So this is a moment now where we want to make sure we are picking the person who can do the job that's required. So head of state, commander-in-chief, you want somebody, if they're going to send us to war or get us out of war, you want another motivation to do. So the big difference is I prioritize people over politics, profit, and personal agenda every single time. And I don't have to apologize for what I say because I'm not beholden to anyone. Shirley Chisholm said it best, unbought, unbought.
We're going to do this. Take a quick pause. We're going to go undercover, excuse me, because it's raining, so we ain't underwater. But stay with us.
I say you 100% didn't notice it started pouring.
I was trying to look. I'm mad because we went from the flies to the dripping.
Yeah. Technical difficulties. We got rain. We're resetting.
We'll stand right here. So
Okay. Thank you so much for this. I appreciate it.
Preaching right now. We are back. This is Shut Up and Talk TV again. I'm LB Johnson. This is our next president, Miss Jade Simmons. Now, Jade, I gotta ask you. We were talking about music a little earlier. You were talking about how it goes from classical all the way to hip hop. Give me your top 5 rappers, man. I need to know.
Oh, my top 5. So we gotta go back a little bit.
Okay.
Of course, you gotta put Tupac in.
Come on, man. Look, you got my vote. That's all I need to hear.
You got. And listen, for the sheer brilliance of word power, and the broad, just the broad nature of what he can cover. It's one of those lives that it's like, how much more?
That's it. To me, he literally was able to talk about every issue, good and bad. He give you a party song, serious. He talked about being on welfare and single mothers. But then he talked about this thug side too. But then when you look at things like the hate you give, you realize that even when they thought he was talking some thug incorrectly, he was actually speaking positive, man. He was an incredible man. So definitely Tupac. You get my vote on that.
Now I'm going to give you something that inspired the way that I kind of started to mix music.
Okay.
It's my girl Missy Elliott.
Oh, okay. Come on
now, because when I saw her, you realize you don't have to be limited to one thing.
Yes.
And I've always been that person doing a whole lot
out
of
extra,
out of the box.
Okay.
And so I'm in these corporate crowds a lot of time, and it's incredible to have. You start with Rachmaninoff, which is what they're expecting. But then you start to mix in everything from African drum to hip hop beats, and I talk about Missy because of that innovation. So to me, that was important. Got to get Jay-Z.
Come on now.
Got to get Jay-Z.
You speaking my language. Tupac, Missy, now we got Jay-Z. Okay.
Yeah. Now I would struggle on the last two. My father, when I was a little girl, he found these lyrics in my room, and he thought that his little girl knew. Now my father was very proud, civil rights activist. There were a few expletives in there. My mother was horrified. What happened to my daughter? I'm raising me to be in the church. And I'm trying back in the day. So when I was in high school, we had Fight the Power. We had Fight the Power.
Public
Enemy.
And that's what he found some lyrics for that. And my dad was like, my daughter is a genius.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
And I was like, no, Dad, I was just back there playing the tape, stop the tape.
That's how you did it. That's how you learned the song. Okay.
And then I'm going to go off script for you and tell you that my main inspiration back in the day was actually classical. And the thing that made me different, I'm going to put Rahman out here and explain why, is because in order for me to keep, practicing, what I would do is I would sit for hours and I would change up the beats of classical music. Beethoven, remix. I didn't realize that's what I was doing. And even in my early classical career, the thing that I was noted for was the internalized rhythm in the music, that I was bringing out rhythm in these European, Beethoven was part black, but in these European composers that audiences hadn't heard it that way before. So a lot of my differentiation in my early career, when I was strictly playing classical, is because I believe we weren't supposed to just emulate the composer. We were supposed to bring ourselves to the table. And so whenever I'm speaking, I'm telling people, listen, we're supposed to be embracing all of ourselves. That's why I tell people, even right now, you're my white friend, this is not a time for you to hate being white, to apologize for being white. This is a time for you to own who you are, but open your eyes to everything and bring all of you to the table. So I'm big on us being able to accept who we are. And it took me a year or two in my early career to realize I wasn't in classical music in spite of being black, but that I was adding to the texture because of who I was. And I'll tell you, my audiences in classical music that would make me classical music's #1 maverick. And you know, all the big newspapers, the big halls would cover it, and what they would remark on was the diversity of the audience. That when I started playing, nobody even looked like me in the seats. But as I started to speak more in the concerts and diversify the musical experience, the audience diversified. You don't need phony diversity initiatives. All you have to do is be all of yourself, bring all of yourself, and people connect to those.
And I think music
parts.
is a great platform to do just that. Because music, literally, the fan base is a little bit of everybody.
It is now, especially.
I look forward to next time you come back. We might have to make sure we got a grandbaby.
Yes, let's do it.
Because I got to see your skills. Again, y'all make sure you look her up on YouTube to see amazing. But so we're talking about music. My next question is, give me a theme song. If one song you kind of overall to say this is me, or even your theme for this season. What's the one song you got to play that kind of gets you excited, gets you pumped?
There's a couple. I'm gonna give you one by a Christian hip hop artist called Pray.
Oh, all day long. Yeah.
That song came out about a year or so ago, 2 years maybe now, called Yeah. And all the lyrics are, I'm not done yet. I ain't done yet. And he talks about all the things he still has to do. And what we're seeing right now, this isn't a career move. This is me being the boldest, biggest version of myself possible. What that means is when we elevate to that next, you have true purpose, which is not just you doing what you do, it's you actually doing the thing that creates impact in everybody else. And so people say, why are you doing this? The question is, why not? If I kept asking the question, why is nobody talking about the things we talk about? Why is nobody doing this? Why is nobody daring to say this? You say that enough times, you hear yourself, and you wonder if that's supposed to be you.
So let me ask you this. Running for president. This is a huge, like you said, commander-in-chief, head of the states.
That's right.
Are you afraid? Are you scared?
So the wildest thing, you know, what I fear the most is not delivering on what I promised to do. The job doesn't fear me. I know a pianist, minister, author who has never been a politician should be afraid. But see, the thing is, Word of God says your gift makes room for you. So I've watched the piano open up all these doors. I've watched my speaking open up doors. But in the through thread, you got to go back and track yourself, track your through thread. The through thread was always people found purpose when I was in the room. This nation is in danger of forgetting what its purpose is. We wear these shirts that say one nation, under God, indivisible. People go, oh, that's corny. That's what we're supposed to be. We've been saying it 4th of July. We've been saying it 4th of July. We've been saying it, but we haven't been there. And so what if a part of my calling is to help us see what we're supposed to be and help us get there? You think about who you want at the top. They have to be able to have a tough conversation. I'm a mother as well. Any mothers out there know what it feels like to birth a thing?
Come on now.
That's what we're in right now. These are those last, so you've been in that birthing room, those last, my husband doesn't want to go back, right? You know, those
4 kids, I'm done, I know.
those last few pushes, you know, he screamed the loudest, they hurt the worst. That baby comes, you don't remember it. And I feel like that's where we are right now. We can't afford to antagonize the situation with the current president. We also can't afford to tap out, get an epidural, get anesthesia, right? and say, well, we don't really want to feel this, we want to just go back to normal.
Yeah.
This moment is too good to go back to normal. So I think we also have to get past the feelings. I see your shirt right there, the polite version says, forget your feelings.
Yeah, look.
And so that's the polite version.
Come on now.
So what that really means to me right now is not that we ignore and deny the anger, we ignore and deny the hurt, but that we understand what it means, and then there has to be fuel now.
Yeah.
And you have to have a certain kind of leader that's not afraid of the pain, not afraid of the hard conversations, not afraid to say the hard things to white people, to black people, to everybody else, and then push through that together. And I honestly, if we didn't see a way to win, there's a path to the White House. We get to win the Electoral College just like anybody else. Already 41 states. You can vote for us. Come out tonight.
Yes,
6:30 tonight.
Andre's Royal Touch on Central, you guys. Come on out, meet Jade, and sign. Let's sign these signatures.
Sign these petitions.
Let's get it done, man.
Yeah.
Look at the camera, and I want you to tell America why they should vote for you.
So I know that one of the candidates released recently a plan for African Americans called Lift Every Voice. I get it. Here's the thing. We don't need our voices lifted anymore. We've been hollering for 300-400 years at this point. We're hoarse. This is a season we need breakthrough, and it's not just us. I'm excited to be a president for all, but I am thrilled about getting to finally be a vocal champion for groups that have gone historically underserved. That is Black Americans. If you go to OperationRestoration2020.com, you'll see an unapologetic section called Breakthrough for Black America. You'll also see Breakthrough for Native Americans coming, Breakthrough for Immigrants, because this is a season that we now, because the moment is crying out for it, we get to do the business of lifting everybody up. And for everybody else watching who gets afraid of that word revolution, 4th of July is coming up. Revolution is a part of our identity as a country.
Yes.
Every time we needed to reset, we had revolution. I believe we're in the throes of a new American revolution. The good news is it doesn't have to be bloody because the blood has already been shed. George Floyd, the blood has already been shed, Ahmaud Arbery. So we get the privilege now of moving after their death into a period of progress, and I'm excited about that possibility. I wouldn't be out here jerking your chain if this wasn't a reality. You can actually vote for an independent right here in New Mexico, across the nation, and when we take the White House, it's going to be the most unified version of America this country has ever seen, and I'm proud of that. I hope that makes you proud as well. So check us out, and see you tonight at Andre's Royal Touch. Bring your hard questions. I'm not afraid of them. Ask me what you want. In the park, they were asking me. Every group was asking me. So bring it. We're not afraid of the tough questions. You deserve to know if I can do this job. So I look forward to seeing you tonight. Look forward to your support. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, y'all know what it is, man. Get out there. Let's vote. We done had a Republican. We done had Democrats. Let's get an independent in office. I'm LB Johnson. This has been Shut Up and Talk TV. I'll let you later.